Welcome back, everybody. We are here from JurisQ.com with Michael Ilyich, a very seasoned trial attorney, a personal injury attorney from the firm of Gregory, Spektor Associates. And actually, Michael Ilyich is a founding partner in the firm. And as promised, we're bringing you back, Michael. And again, I want to thank you for your time to talk a little bit more about the question of to sue or not to sue, because that frequently comes up. People, you like that, right? People, after they sustain an injury, unfortunately, they go to an attorney, and most of the time, like you said in your previous session, insurance companies settle. But then there is that certain percentage that goes to trial, and you, as a firm, are equipped to go to trial because you actually do litigation for a living. You have a whole team and experts to do it. Michael, in your opinion, why it makes sense sometimes to settle early, or it makes more sense to go to trial, which could take longer?
Once again, the question is, what kind of injury do I have, how much it's worth, and how much money there is on the insurance policy of the vehicle that is responsible for the accident. Sometimes we have cases where my injury is worth, let's say, $250,000, but the defendant only has $100,000 worth of insurance. Am I willing to litigate the case? Absolutely, if I have to. A lot of times, insurance company realizes that litigating is a total waste of time, that they will still end up paying $100,000, and by early settlement, they can actually save themselves money in legal fees. That does happen. Okay, so the gravity of the injury versus the policy limit. Okay, so if the value of the injury outweighs the applicable insurance policy limit, these cases will settle much faster, as opposed to you have a very serious injury that is worth a lot of money and you have a big policy. Well, these cases most likely will need to be litigated. Will they go to trial? Probably not. We have to get it up to the point of trial, closer to trial. Maybe if you're looking for a very significant amount of money. What is very significant? $500,000 and up. Okay. Anything below that settles, could be settled earlier in the game. As opposed
so Michael, so what you're saying is that even if you go to court, quite often you can settle in court, or you can settle on the eve of a trial.
Oh, there are cases that settle in the middle of the trial, on the first day of trial, on the last day of trial. We had cases that settled before the jury came back with the verdict. Okay. So case can settle anytime before the verdict is in. Pretty much. Okay. Our job is to try to avoid the trial at all costs. But sometimes it's just inevitable. Trials are expensive. Trials are unpredictable. Okay, we have a trial. Our expert witnesses, the doctors and the biomechanical engineer, is costing us about $50,000 or $60,000 just.
And you're paying it for it yourself out of pocket.
Just an expert witnesses. Just the cost for the expert witnesses can run up to $50,000, $60,000, sometimes even more. Sure. So what's at stake is the question. What is the injury? What is the insurance policy limit? Okay, and if it's worth it from a monetary standpoint, we're going to go to full-blown trial, and we're going to invest.
Michael,
if needs be, yes.
And Michael, clients, they like transparency, and clients like to know what's at stake. When a client expresses a need to settle early, or they want to get less money, is this a decision that they make alone, or do you guide them through the process to come up with the best possible solution?
We don't make decisions for clients. We help clients to make a decision. My job is to make sure client is fully informed and understands the pros and cons of the decision.
Excellent.
My job is to express my opinion about their decision. My job is to make sure they understand the pros and cons of their decision, pretty much. Okay.
Very good.
At the end of the day, it's a client's call to go to settle or not, to go to trial or not. Okay. We are counselors, we're advisors. We advise clients. We make sure they understand.
Yeah. And Michael, my advice to clients: Listen to what Michael Ilyich has to say, because Michael, you've been in this business over 20 years. You've seen it all. You do personal injury day in, day out. So I think at this point, you know what's right for the clients.
Yeah, I live it, I breathe it. I started off 25 years ago as a paralegal, and we're here now 25 years later. So I know a couple of things about
yes, absolutely. And that's why we always invite you back for your valuable insights.
And I appreciate it and I respect it. And what I want clients to understand that the formula is pretty simple. We as lawyers don't get paid until after the client gets paid. We have no interest in sitting on we have no interest in the case sitting on the shelf collecting dust. That's not how we make money. We have to resolve the case to make money as a law firm. And obviously, we get paid only after the client gets paid. So it is in our best interest, as well as the clients, to move the case along as fast as possible and get it resolved for the right amount of money. My job is to make sure my client gets compensated 100 cents on the dollar. Every injury, believe it or not, even a pinky, depending on what's wrong with it, has a price tag. My job is to make sure the client gets the price tag. And if my client wants to settle for less than that, I'll make sure client understands that accepting whatever the offer is, you know, if I'm not in agreement with the offer, I'll express it to my client. I'll make sure my client understands. But at the end of the day, if client wants to take the offer, client, you know, has the right to take the offer, and I'll make sure that's what's going to happen. I have to as a lawyer.
Perfect. And you know what? If anybody has any questions, maybe on their case, and maybe they're not happy with their attorney who is trying to settle, not getting the maximum value, maybe it's a good idea to contact the law firm of Gregory, Steppen Associates and get second opinion.
I don't want to take cases from other lawyers. So before you decide to change a lawyer, call your lawyer, current lawyer, and find out what's going on. Make sure you understand what's going on. And you know, if you gave your lawyer a chance or 2 or 10, and he's not coming through for you, then call us and we'll be happy to let you know what your case is worth.
Michael, you are being very humble and I appreciate it, but you are a true litigator. And if you see your attorney is not going that route where he needs to go or she needs to go, then I suggest you call a number on the bottom of the screen and get a consultation.
Suggest, Michael, and I actually insist you do just that, okay? If you really want an army of lawyers and paralegals to fight for you, we are your law firm. We literally have an army of lawyers and paralegals.
I know. I've been to your office.
It's not a one-man show. It's not 2-people firm, okay? We are more than properly staffed, experienced, and resourced. That's how I want to farm.
Very good. Very good.
We're more than properly staffed, experienced, and resourced to take on a case and invest into the case time and money. As I said before, a trial could cost anywhere between $50,000 to $60,000 just an expert with alone.
And that's something you pay out of pocket, so not every attorney has the pocket and the budget.
Just don't have those types of resources to invest. They don't have time, and a lot of lawyers just don't really know how to try cases. This is not what they've done. A lot of law firms out there are just in settlement business. They just settle cases.
They want easy way out.
Easy way, easy way for them. All right, but usually it's not in the best interest of the client. And unfortunately, that's what happens most of the time with most of the law firms. Okay, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay, so, very good. Golden words.
Make sure the law firm is not a one-man show, 2-man show, because these things usually don't work out well. Okay, a law firm has to have manpower.
Okay. Michael, I've been to your firm. I've seen, like you said, manpower, an army of attorneys and paralegals, and you do not just car accidents, you do construction accidents, slip and falls, and everything else.
And anything that has to do with personal injury, whether it's an auto accident, whether it's a construction site accident, whether it's slip and fall. Believe it or not, we have a case where 2 airplanes collided while reversing on at the airport. Okay, so we even do, I guess, plane accidents. They do happen. All right.
Of course.
All
Unfortunately.
right, two planes were backing out of the gates and they just struck one another.
Wow.
People on planes got injured. So we pretty much do everything that has to do with personal injury.
Very good.
Somebody's responsible for it most of the time.
And you're gonna get them. Michael Ilyich, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. And I'm gonna bring you back for more questions on personal injury. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.